Philadelphia, Orlando was in town, but it was Tyrese Maxey who was bringing the magic here. We're going to pick this one up with under 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Maxey steps back, drains that three, and then a minute later, Maxey, faking out Jalen Suggs up top, driving to the basket. Tough move there by Maxey, Tim.
He's got some jets.
Suggs swings it to Desmond Bane, knocks down the three. That's why they brought him in. Bane had a game-high 35 points in this one. 35? Sure, we'll go with that. Under 4 minutes left in the fourth. Maxey drives into the lane, banks the tough layup. He's just taken over in this frame, Tim. Suggs pushing the floor, but there's Maxey on the block. Maxey doing everything in this one. Let's take one more look at that.
One of the most athletic guards in the league, and he can shoot it from 30.
VJ Edgecombe had it, though, if he didn't, right? And then Andre Drummond in the corner. He had a couple of those. The Sixers go on to clinch the 7th seed. They get the win. Let's take a listen to Paolo Banchero because they got one more chance.
Yeah, they're been playing really well. You know, they've kicked our ass this year. So we got to be ready. I got to be ready. And, you know, we have to be locked in from the jump. You know, I thought we played hard tonight, but it wasn't enough. And so it's going to take, you know, even more of an effort. And it's going to take, you know, me playing better as well, you know, for us to get the win. So it's definitely a big game on Friday.
All right, well, here are the stats behind that statement from Paolo Banchero on their next matchup with the Hornets. Charlotte, they took 3 of 4 from the Magic this season during the regular season. All 4 games, they were decided by 15 or more points. Orlando's lone win, that was all the way back in October. So that game is tomorrow for a chance at the Pistons, and the final playoff spot is on the line. Orlando, they had such high hopes, though, I think, coming into the season. They had such high expectations. Iman, what do you think has gone wrong for them?
Well, with Orlando, I think that they just lack accountability. When you look at them, you see them throughout the game have those moments where it's like somebody huddle these guys together and get everybody on the same page. There's just a lot of times that they're all seem like they have different agendas going. And especially in a game like this where you're playing against a Paul George, a Tyrese Maxey, Andre Drummond, guys with playoff experience, period. They know how to key in. They know how to make big plays. They know how to make things happen. I felt like the Sixers were just a more together team. More swing passes, more kickouts, more in-and-out threes, as opposed to, you know, dribble, solo drives, ISOs on the wing. It just seemed like everything didn't go the way that it was supposed to go for the Magic, and I don't want to have to see Desmond Bane have to bail them out. For that third and a little bit of that fourth quarter, it just seemed like Desmond Bane didn't feel like losing. But if I see my friend or my brothers over there getting jumped when he get off the bus, I'm going to come over there and at least huddle up to get a plan together, man. He's fighting everybody with one hand behind his back.
Yeah, I mean, they brought him in to be the bucket getter down the stretch, but certainly not the only one. And I don't want to turn this into a posthumous conversation about Orlando because they still got another shot, right? They do have one more shot to get into the postseason here. But it does, the tenor around the league, it feels like the conversation is Jamal Mosley may be coaching for his job here.
And Charlotte's a nice little layover for them on a trip to Cancun, right? And there's nothing magical about this Orlando season. This has been miserable. Let's just be honest. And Paolo Banchero and Jamal Mosley, they haven't been on the same page. They've been headbutting. That's been well known. They've done it in press conferences at times this year. And there's certainly a wide expectation around the league that Jamal Mosley is in serious jeopardy of losing his job. I will say this, if that does happen, he will be a candidate for at least one other job immediately.
Yeah.
And I'm also just going to point out that Paolo Banchero has yet to prove in this league that he can drive winning. He said it himself. He's got to play much better because that was a terrible performance by a max salary face the franchise.
Well, and they're going to have another shot. Go ahead, Chubb.
If I could add this. For Paolo, the biggest problem with what I saw from him down the stretch, he did not seem concerned with making sure he got the ball and made things happen. At the end of a game, you start to see the guy that most of the responsibility falls on their shoulders. Whether they had a good game or not is irrelevant once it becomes time for winning and it comes time for crunch time. They figure out a way to get involved in the game no matter how they have to do it, and they make sure they put their team as well as their self in successful positions to where at the very least they're shooting free throws to keep their team in it. And I just think he strayed away from that. Is he a bad player? No. Do we expect a whole lot from you? oh, yeah.
Well, and that's why I don't know, regardless of what happens tomorrow against the Hornets, and regardless of their coaching, if they decide to make a change, the Orlando Magic are going to have different conversations about what else they'll need to do up and down the roster. But again, that's a conversation for a little bit later. We get a Sixers-Boston Celtics series. That we know for sure. What we don't know is whether or not we're going to see Joel Embiid in that series. What do you know here, Shams?
Look, my understanding is the Sixers are preparing for battle against the Celtics without Joel Embiid, at least to start the series. He's only a week-ish removed from surgery for that appendicitis.
Yeah.
And so he's very much in the recovery phase of this. Once you recover, then you have to have a separate rehab part of the process as well. And so this is a serious issue that Joel Embiid had a week ago. He's still trying to recover. Good news for the Sixers, though. He was with the team last night at the arena, at the game, for the first time since the surgery.
Okay.
ESPN.
Oh, I can't wait. The playoffs tip off this weekend, and Victor Wembanyama, we get to see him in the postseason for the very first time in his career. And in just his third year, he's put up averages, 25 points, 11 rebounds, over 3 blocks a game. Those numbers we haven't seen since prime Shaquille O'Neal in 2000. Now, Shaq's postseason play, of course, it's legendary. 3 titles with the Lakers. He's got 1 with Miami. But his first shot at the playoffs, that was with the Orlando Magic team that got swept in round 1 by the 5-seed Indiana Pacers. And Victor, he will play his first postseason game this weekend against the Blazers. And we're going to see how he can carry the Spurs, how far they can go. But it was actually another Hall of Fame center that gave him one key piece of advice. He said, don't wait.
Our eyes have never seen anything at the level that we're seeing it with Victor Wembanyama.
Wemby shakes, takes, and slams.
The mindset is the most important thing, in my opinion.
We're seeing his off-season work translate directly to his game.
You had a heck of a summer, and I want to get a little bit more into it. You trained with the one and only Hakeem Olajuwon over the summer. Can you tell me how you two met and how that came to be?
So we met at the finals of NCAA, so the Final Four. Right away, he was very friendly, and he told me right away that he wanted to share what he had, what he knew, all the footwork stuff, things that look easy but aren't, but he makes them easier, and just some advice that comes with experience, and nothing can replace experience.
The scariest sight in the entire NBA is the fact that Victor Wembanyama has embraced the postgame.
What was the best piece of advice that he told you?
Maybe it was actually advice, but it really stuck with me, that you don't need to wait to win, like you can do it right away. If you're that good, you're gonna make your team win regardless.
The one thing the Spurs has done a great job, they got home court advantage all the way up to the conference finals.
Any piece of motivation that you could find, you take and you put it into your arsenal for the future. And that leads you to training with monks in China. How did you come up with that idea?
I was just thinking, I'm not able to do these things physically right now. So my body still has some areas to fill and some areas to develop. It's been very important for me to develop my body into what it can be and fulfill the potential as much as possible.
Walk me through getting there, what it looked, just paint a picture for me.
Incredible scenery. The temple, of course, obviously the traditional millennium old buildings, and just at the bottom of the mountain in the forest. We meet a few monks. They're very social, and they have phones and stuff. We were interesting. Let's see how it goes, but I'm not sure it is where I want to spend these next weeks in my summer, because it's an important summer. They go to show us a demonstration, a show of what they do, of Kung Fu. 30 seconds in, we were convinced. All the doubts we might have had before, long gone. I get extremely jealous, and I'm like, I want to be able to do it at the end of these 12 days or whatever.